Welcome in, one and all. I'm going to now be reviewing all of December 27th.
Yeah, that's okay.
There we go. All of December 27th's action of the NHL season. I had to get corrected by my daughter. I started recording and I was talking about the Boxing Day schedule, but then I realized, or she realized, that there weren't any games on Boxing Day. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. So there were 14 games on tap on the 27th of December, 2 days after Christmas. So there were 14 games on tap, 28 teams looking to get 2 points. Unfortunately, only half of them were able to do so. Starting with the two teams you see on your screen, as the Columbus Blue Jackets went into Newark to take on the New Jersey Devils. So Bean would open up the scoring for the Blue Jackets, getting his second goal of the season, assisted by Gauntz and Texier. That goal happened with 6 minutes and 39 seconds into that opening frame. Palat would tie things up for the Devils, getting his fifth goal of the season, 9 minutes and 55 seconds into that frame, assisted by Holla and Mercer. So it's all tied up at 1 after 1. Just a lone goal to report in the second, and that was Danforth, 8 minutes and 28 seconds into that second frame. He would record his ninth goal of the season, assisted by Juracek and Fantilli. So 2-1 in favor of the Jackets after 2. Mercer would tie things up with just under 5 minutes to go, or just over 4 minutes remaining, 4 minutes and 9 seconds to be exact, getting his ninth of the season, assisted by Nemec. Chinnikov would then give the Blue Jackets a 3-2 lead with 2.5 minutes to go in that frame, getting his 10th of the season. And then Luke Hughes would score with 1 minute 25 seconds remaining, tying it up at 3, his fifth goal of the season, assisted by his brother Jack and Mercer. So obviously it was all tied up heading into overtime. 2 minutes and 12 seconds into overtime, Meyer would get the game-winning goal for the Devils, and with that, 4-3 would be the final score. So with the victory, the Devils are now 18-13-2, and with the loss, the Blue Jackets unfortunately are still at the bottom of that Metropolitan Division, 11-18-7. All right, so the next game takes place in New York, where we have the host team and the Rangers. Woo! That's just not going to work out, is it? Try this way. There, blacked out. The Rangers, and they played host to the Washington Capitals. See if I can load up the teams on the screen as we speak. All right, let's take a look at the goal scoring summary from this matchup. So there are no goals to report in the first. We have to jump ahead all the way to the second period, where Anthony Mata would kick things off for the Capitals, opening up the scoring, getting his 11th goal of the season from Sandin and Protas, 4 minutes and 12 seconds into that frame. K'Andre Miller would tie things up 7 minutes and 3 seconds into that frame, recording his sixth goal this season from Zibanejad and Panarin. On a power play with just under 8 minutes to go in the period, 7 minutes and 52 seconds to be exact, Panarin would get a power play goal for the Rangers, his 19th of the season, assisted by Trocheck and Zibanejad. Schneider would increase the lead to 3-1 just 40 seconds after that, recording his third goal this season from Lindgren and Vesey. So it's 3-1 in favor of the Rangers heading into the third. Where K'Andre Miller would get his second goal of the game, his 7th of the season from Chris Kreider and Blake Wheeler, 6 minutes and 54 seconds into that frame. And Alex Lafreniere would then get his 10th goal of the season from Adam Fox and K'Andre Miller with 8 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in that game. So with the victory, the Rangers are still atop of that Metropolitan Division at 24-8-1. And with the loss, the Washington Capitals are now in the bottom 4 of that division, 17-10-5. All right, let's take a look at the next matchup, which takes place in Florida, where ironically, both teams were in action against one another. So we had the Florida Panthers, and they played away from home in Tampa to take on the Lightning. All right, let's take a look at the goal scoring summary from this game. Aaron Ekblad would kick things off for the Panthers in the first, recording his first goal of the year from Forsling and Barkov, 4 minutes and 16 seconds into that frame. In the second period, just a lone goal to report, where Sam Reinhart would increase the lead to 2-0, getting his 20th goal of the season, assisted by Evan Rodriguez and Barkov. And that took place 1 minute and 24 seconds into that middle frame. In the third period, Kucherov would finally put the Bolts on the board, getting his 24th of the season from Hedman and Piripix, just 29 seconds into that frame. Sam Reinhart would then get his second goal of the game, his 21st of the season from Barkov, a shorthanded goal, 3 minutes and 11 seconds into that period. Isimont would cut the deficit to 3-2 less than 20 seconds after that, getting his 6th of the season from Hagel and Radish. But 3-2 is where we would stand at the end of that. So with the victory, the Panthers have now improved to 20, 12, and 3. And with the loss, the Lightning now find themselves in the bottom 4 of that division, 17, 14, and 5. Sorry, they're in the top 4 of that Atlantic division. So I should have corrected myself, or should have said that first. I apologize. All right, they're fourth in that division. There. All right, so our next matchup takes place also in the Atlantic Division, and also with two teams that live in the same state/province. All right, I'll cover up the screen. Take a look at the next matchup, where we have the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they played host to the Ottawa Senators. So in the first, Matthew Knies would get a tip-in goal, his 8th of the season from Austin Matthews, 5 minutes and 41 seconds in the frame. And 23 seconds later, Todd Bertuzzi, would record his 6th goal of the year, increasing the lead to 2-0, assisted by Riley and Nylander. So it's 2-0 in favor of the Blues shirts after one. Kelly would get a shorthanded goal for the Ottawa Senators, recording his 2nd goal of the year, assisted by Claude Giroux. Batherson would then tie it up with 5 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in that frame, getting his 12th goal of the season from Tim Stützle. So it's all tied up at 2, heading into the third. Batherson would get his 2nd goal of the game, his 13th of the season from Tarasenko and Hamonic, 3 minutes and 44 seconds into that frame. And then Brady Tkachuk would double up the lead to 4-2, getting his 16th goal of the season, assisted by Tarasenko. So 4-2 would be the final score from Toronto. With the victory, the Sens are still 4 games below 500, bottom of that division, 13, 17, and 0. And despite the loss, the Leafs are still sitting 3rd in that Atlantic division, 17, 9, and 6. All right. Now, still staying in the Atlantic, we are heading to Buffalo, where we have the Sabres. They played host to the Boston Bruins. All right, let's take a look at the goal scoring summary from this matchup. So Lowry would kick things off for the Bruins in the first, getting his 3rd of the season from Van Riemsdyk and Frederick. 4 minutes and 19 seconds into that frame. Charlie Coyle would then add a power play goal with 6 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in that frame. His 11th of the season from DeBrusk and Marchand. So it's 2-0 in favor of the Bruins heading into the second. Charlie Coyle would get his 2nd goal of the game, also on the power play, his 12th of the year from DeBrusk and Pasternak, 4 minutes and 18 seconds into that middle frame. And Morgan Geekie would add a power play goal of his own, his 6th of the year from McAvoy and Marchand. And that goal happened with 6 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the frame. In the third, Eric Johnson would get his 3rd goal of the year to finally put the Sabres on the board, assisted by Power and Middlestat, 5 minutes and 11 seconds into that frame. But unfortunately for the Sabres, they ran out of time, so 4-1 would be the final score. With the victory, the Bruins are still find themselves on top of that Atlantic Division. 27-6 is their record. And with the loss, the Sabres are still 2nd last in their division, 14, 18, and 4. All right, let's take a look at the next one, which takes place in the Metropolitan Division. And we had the New York Islanders, who played host to the Pittsburgh Penguins. So I should have the teams on the screen in 3, 2, 1. There we go. This would be a high-scoring affair for one team at least. And we'll take a look at the goal-scoring summary from this game. So there are no goals to report in the first. We have to jump ahead to the second, where Raquel would record. Try saying that 5 times fast. His 2nd goal of the season from Gensel and Pettersson, 6 minutes and 44 seconds into the frame. Gensel would then score to increase the lead to 2-0, 10 minutes and 15 seconds into that frame, getting his 15th of the season from Chris Letang and Pettersson. Gensel would then get his second goal of the game, his 16th of the season, just 12 seconds after that, assisted by Raquel and Letang. Malkin would then add to that lead, making it 4-0, getting his 12th of the season from Smith and Letang. And Malkin would then double up his goals to 2 at that point, getting his 13th of the season from Letang and Pedersen. Seems like on every goal, Letang was on the assist category. Wow, guy's a monster. Zohora would increase the lead to 6-0 with 2 minutes and 47 seconds to go, getting his 4th of the season from Pedersen and Letang. What did I just say? It's like every time there's a goal, Letang assisted on it somehow. In the third, Putsin would then increase the lead to 7-0, 9 minutes and 48 seconds into that frame, assisted by, big surprise, Chris Letang and Marcus Pedersen. So 7-0 would be the final score in this one. So I just want to take a quick little recap. So Letang had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 assists in this game. Unbelievable. That's got to be a record for most assists by a defenseman in a single game. That is unreal. He assisted on 6 of their 7 goals. Wow. So with the victory, the Penguins are 16, 13, and 4, still bottom 4 of that division. And with the loss, the Islanders are 16, 9, and 9. They're still in the top 3 of that division, so there's really no panic. But a blowout loss isn't pretty. All right, now we're off to Minneapolis, where we have the Minnesota Wild, and they're playing host to one of the original 6 teams and the Detroit Red Wings. All right, let's take a look at the goal scoring summary from this particular game. So Matt Boldy would kick things off 38 seconds into that opening period. Assisted by Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek just 38 seconds into that frame. Patrick Kane, who's been on a tear since he's joined the Red Wings, now has recorded his 6th goal already of the season, assisted by his best friend, Alex DeBrincat. And that happened with 6 minutes and 32 seconds into that frame. In the second, Marcus Johansson would get the lone goal for the Wild, recording his 3rd of the season, just 1 minute and 37 seconds into that period. So it's 2-1 in favor of the Wild heading into the third, where we would have an onslaught of goals, starting with a power play goal by Alex DeBrincat, his 16th of the season from Shane Gottersberg and JT Compher. Ryan Hartman would then give the Wild a 3-2 lead. Less than 2 minutes after that, recording his 10th of the season, assisted by Johansson and Bogusayan. 5 minutes and 27 seconds into that frame, Foligno would increase the lead to 4-2, getting his 5th of the season, assisted by Middleton. Johansson would get his 2nd goal of the game, his 4th of the season, assisted by Rossi. 6 minutes and 42 seconds into that frame, making it 5-2. Daniel Sprong would cut the deficit to 5-3, exactly 8 minutes into that period, assisted by Edvinsson and Bergen. Kaprizov would get a late goal with 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in that period, his 13th of the season, assisted by Mermis. So with the victory, the Jackets are now 2 games below 500, 16, 18, and 4. And with the loss, the Red Wings are now 16, 15, and 4. They are now in the bottom 4 of that Atlantic division. All right, let's take a look and see what the next matchup is. All right, so we're staying in the Central. We're just going from Minnesota, and we're heading over to the Music City, where we have the Nashville Predators, and they played host to the Carolina Hurricanes. All right, let's take a look at the goal scoring summary from this game. So in the first, Sebastian Aho kicked things off with a power play goal in 9 minutes and 50 seconds into that frame, his 14th of the season from Brett Burns and Jarvis. Speaking of Brett Burns, he would then get a power play goal of his own, increasing the lead to 2-0, his 6th of the season from Aho and Svechnikov. So it's 2-0 in favor of the Hurricanes after 1. Nyquist would score for the Predators, getting his 1st of the night, his 6th of the season from Ryan O'Reilly, 1 minute and 18 seconds in that frame. The deficit didn't last too long as Svechnikov would increase the lead to 3-1. His 3rd of the goal from Sebastian Aho, 3 minutes and 44 seconds into that frame. Ryan O'Reilly would cut the deficit back down to 1, recording his 14th goal of the season from Sissons and Yossi, a power play goal, 5 minutes and 8 seconds into that frame. Drury would then get his 5th goal of the year with about 10 minutes into that frame, assisted by Fast and Noesen. Jarvis would then increase the lead to 5-2 at that point. Power play goal with 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in that frame. There were no goals to report in the third, so that would be the final score from Nashville. So with the win, 5-2 is the final, by the way. The Hurricanes have now improved to 18-13-4. They're now top four of their respective division. And Nashville is 19-16-0. They're right around that wild card spot. So a tough loss, but there's still a lot of season left to be played. All right, so the next matchup takes place in the Central Division, where we have the host team in the St. Louis Blues, and they were taking on the Dallas Stars. Okay. Oh no, it went sideways. There we go. No! Oh, come on. Of course, when I get to the final 5 games, this thing has to tip sideways. All right, there. May not be perfect, but we'll leave it as is. I'll try adjusting it, but I know it's going to move yet. What did I just say? As soon as I try to adjust it, it moves. Ah! Okay, you know what? Forget it. I'll do this. There. I don't know why it's so dark now, though. There. Okay. All right, I'll leave it at that. I know it's not perfect, but I just feel the tablet's just going to move regardless. All right, so Neighbors would kick things off for the Blues in the first with just 1 minute and 52 seconds remaining in that frame. His 12th of the season, assisted by Perunovic. In the second, Scandella would record his second goal of the year, assisted by Kapanen and Perunovic as well. 10 minutes and 53 seconds into that frame. And with 1 minute and 29 seconds, Jason Robertson would finally get the first goal on the board for the Dallas Stars, his 11th of the season, assisted by Rupi Hintz. That's where we would stand at the end of 2, and that's where we would stand at the end of regulation. So a very low-scoring affair, to say the least. So with the victory, the Blues are 18-15-1. Again, just like Nashville, they're right around that wild card spot or just below it. And with the despite the loss, the Stars are still top 3 in that division, 29-4. All right, staying in the Central, we are now flipping from Missouri to Arizona, where we have the Coyotes, and they played host to the Colorado Avalanche. Okay. I need like 4 hands just to keep everything going smoothly. Now my phone just shut off. Holy cow. Come on. It's like anything that can possibly go wrong, it just seems like it's going wrong. Now my screen's not turning on. Wow. Come on. Okay. No, I want photo mode. No.
Use my phone.
Hold on a second. Okay. Just stay here just in case this happens again. Okay, now we're off to, like I said, Arizona, where I have the teams on the screen. So let's take a look at the goal scoring summary from this game. So in the first, Mikko Rantanen would get a late power play goal for the Avalanche, recording his 18th goal of the season, assisted by McKinnon and Makar, and that goal happened with 1 minute and 44 seconds remaining in the period. So it was 1-0 in favor of the Avs heading into the second. In the second, Jonathan Drouin would record his 5th goal of the season. Where was this Jonathan Drouin in his entire tenure with the Montreal Canadiens? Would double up the lead to 2-0, assisted by Colton and Taves. O'Connor would then increase the lead to 3-0 for Avalanche, recording his 5th goal of the season from Manson and Byram, 7 minutes and 56 seconds into that frame. And then McKinnon would get a power play goal with 6 minutes and 34 seconds to go, making it 4-0, his 19th of the season, assisted by Rantanen and Makar. Krause would then get a late goal for the Coyotes to finally put them on the board, his 15th of the season from Bustad and Michelli. So it was 4-1 in favor of the Avalanche heading into the third. Kieserling would cut the deficit to 4-2, getting his 4th of the season, assisted by Sean Durzi, 3 minutes and 48 seconds into that frame. Jason Zucker would then get his 6th goal of the year, assisted by Durzi and Cooley, 7 minutes and 4 seconds into that frame, cutting the lead to 4-3. And then with 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining, Sean Durzi would tie it up, his 6th of the season, assisted by Michelli and Krause. The game went into overtime, and it looked like it might be a shootout, but with 20 seconds remaining, McBain would get the overtime winner, recording his 6th of the season from Zucker and Durzi. So it's hard to believe that the Coyotes were down 4-1. They stormed back and got the comeback victory against the Colorado Avalanche. So with that, the Coyotes are 18-14-2. Again, just like the Blues and the Predators, they're all around that wild card spot, 4th at least. They're at least in the top 4 of their respective division. And despite the loss, the Avs are still first in that Central Division, 21-11-3. Okay, so now we're off to Chicago, where we have the Blackhawks, and they played host to the Winnipeg Jets. So I'll have the team's logos on the screen momentarily. All right. This one would be a low-scoring affair. Connor Bedard will kick things off in the first, with just about 4 minutes remaining in that frame. His 14th of the season from Murphy and Kurashev. In the second, Barron would tie it up 3 minutes and 47 seconds into that frame, getting his 6th goal this season from Janssen Fajabli and Tani Namo, if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. There were no goals to report in the third. We have to jump all the way ahead to overtime, where Connor Bedard, who kicked things off in the first, would get the game-winning goal, his 2nd of the game, his 15th of the season, assisted by Vlasic and Beauvillier. 2 minutes and 15 seconds into that overtime period. So with the victory, the Hawks are now still 11 games below 500. They are still, unfortunately, the worst team in that Central Division. And despite the loss, the Jets are still sitting second in that division, 29-4. All right. 3 more games to go, and they all take place in the Pacific Division. So 3 games, 6 teams, all from the same division. All right. So I got to move over, scroll over. So we have the Calgary Flames, and they're playing host to the Seattle Kraken. Kyler Yamamoto would open up the scoring 2 minutes and 24 seconds into that first period, recording his 7th goal of the season from Dunn and Larson. Kadri would tie things up with a power play goal, 8 minutes and 9 seconds into that frame, getting his 9th of the season, assisted by Sharon Govich. There were no goals to report in the second. We have to jump all the way ahead to the third, where Wenberg would get the go-ahead goal, making it 2-1, his 5th of the season from McCain and Borgen. And that is where we would stand at the end of regulation. So with the victory, the Seattle Kraken are now 1 game below 500, 13-14-9. And with the loss, the Flames are now 2 games below 500, 14-16-5. So a tough loss for the Flames. All right, now we're heading to California, where we have the Anaheim Ducks. They played host to the Los Angeles Kings. Okay, let's take a look at the goal scoring summary from this one. Oh, Vegas. It was Vegas, not LA. I apologize. Hold on a second. Jumping ahead of the gun here. There we go. All right. Now I got the right teams on the screen. So in the first, Leaston will kick things off for the Anaheim Ducks, recording his 5th of the season from Fowler and Henrique. Drysdale would finally record his first goal of the year, assisted by McTavish and Strome, 8 minutes and 23 seconds into that frame. Frank Vitano would increase the lead to 3-0, getting his 16th goal of the season from McTavish and Labushkin. And then Troy Terry would get his 9th goal of the year, assisted by Killorn and Zegras, with 7 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in that period. So 4-0 after 1 for the Ducks. Who would have guessed that? In the second, Alec Martinez would finally get the Vegas Golden Knights on the board, recording his 4th goal of the season from Cotter, 7 minutes and 23 seconds into that frame. Mark Stone would add a power play goal with 7 minutes and 24 seconds, 7 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in that period, assisted by Carlson and Marchessault. Leaston would then add a late goal in that period, his 2nd of the game, his 6th of the season from McTavish and Fowlers. And that goal happened with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in that second frame. There were no goals to report in the third, so that was the end result. So 5-2 would be the final score in favor of the Ducks, who got a surprise victory over the Vegas Golden Knights. So with that win, the Ducks are still 8 games below 500, 13-21-0. And despite the loss, the Golden Knights are in the top 3 of their division, 21-10-5. All right, now the last game takes place in LA. So I did have the team on the screen, but I just had the wrong team against them. The Los Angeles Kings, they played host to the San Jose Sharks. Let's take a look at the goal scoring summary. So Zetterlund would kick things off for the Sharks, recording his 10th of the season with 9 minutes and 58 seconds to go in that period. There were no other goals to report in that frame, so it was 1-0 in favor of the Sharks heading into the second. Kevin Fiala would tie things up 2 minutes and 57 seconds in that frame, getting his 7th goal of the season, assisted by Spence. Lewis would then score 13 seconds after that, recording his 5th goal of the year to give the Kings a 2-1 lead. With under 8 minutes to go in that period, 7 minutes and 34 seconds to be exact, Pierre-Luc Dubois would increase the lead to 3-1, getting his 7th goal of the season, assisted by Kaliev and Lafayette. So it was 3-1 in favor of the Kings heading into the third. Kempe would score in the third, 3 minutes and 36 seconds in that frame, getting his 10th of the season from Matt Roy and Grundstrom. He would then record his 2nd goal of the game late in that frame with 4 minutes and 18 seconds to go, his 11th of the season from Anderson and Drew Doughty. So 5-1 would be the final score from Los Angeles. With the victory, the Kings have now improved to 27-4. Again, they're still top 3 of their respective division. And with the loss, unfortunately for the Sharks, they're still the worst team in the league, 9-23-3. As always, if you like this type of content, please feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. And as always, take care.